utilize less than radius.
English major. Science major.
To round shape.
What do you want to call this?
One. You can use how long is 1 meter? 100 centimeters.
3 yards. Or no, 1 meter, 1 yard long.
1 meter centimeter
Row,
of
how does
tape
she
rather than
roll?
what?
And string,
You can
I didn't have
all
those, so if I run out of string, I just tell them to type in it.
Oh, are we doing this one?
Only
Or tape for
What
tape,
is it?
or
Tape. Instead of tape, what should we go with? Sticky line. Sticky line.
roll your.
Okay, this is going to be white gummy.
Just remember too that we're rotating, so you have to think like they think, right? Make sure that they're gonna understand the words.
I
No,
think
roll
it
it.
no.
Make it into circles.
You don't wanna make it right now, because if you make it, then they're gonna figure out what you're doing ahead of time, and then they'll be finished.
Oh, do we have
So-
different activities?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's 2 different activities.
All that piece. Are you rewriting here or here?
On the blank paper, you wanna write on the blank paper, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this away from this, and then they're gonna have to like just read off what you're doing. And so, what I usually do is I walk around with the students and I talk to them to see where they're at, kind of give them guidance. And one thing that I always try to tell them in this activity is you have to remember who's gonna be doing it. So like if you know that a group is struggling vocabulary wise, you wanna use simple. If you know that the group's a little higher, then you probably use those higher ones. You guys got lucky because they kind of did some work on the paper for you in the last group.
So, teacher, Sean, are you only changing the bolded words?
Only the words need to change. You can rewrite it in your own words if it doesn't really make a lot of sense, but it's up to you.
So how does it look then?
Looks good so far.
Yay! You're doing good. Stick the end of your 3D circle together.
It's funny too because there will be groups that they write it really, really well, and then the other group comes in like, what the heck? Hey, how can you not understand our instructions?
Wow. On top of the
On your 3D shape.
object.
Rewrite it and then build.
Can we see the screen?
Oh, yeah.
Share it. They should, right?
Create the 3 separate.
I don't know.
Did you have string in your explanation?
Oh, yeah, just put
Yeah,
line.
we actually ran out of the shrimp, so I'll just allow them to use
Oh no,
extra.
let's call it paper line. Or like, because like sticky line and paper line, so we're using symbols. If there's 2 things, it should be obvious which one is string and which one is
Can we have one extra paper, please? I wanna write neatly. Right on the back.
Usually I don't give them an extra sheet.
That's right.
It makes the difficulty even harder. It
Eco-friendly.
makes you think more. You see what happens when you're doing this activity, if you tell them like I'm not giving you any more than what's on the paper, somebody will start writing, they'll be like, stop writing! Because they know that if they mess up, that's it. It's gonna be on you.
Desk?
And you can always like cross out the top.
What?
To the ground.
But how do I spell that?
Okay. Next step.
I just guessed.
So if one is struggling with
Step
some
4.
lines of the last group.
Attach to building is its stop an angle that creates
That means ours is bad, so we should change it. That's what
I do it because like, you know, some groups will understand, but there will be some groups who will be like, well, that can't fix that.
like line.
Because they're lower.
Pasta.
That's perfect.
Okay, I'm gonna change that. Line.
You guys are just like mowing through this.
an angle that
was fun.
You're on fire.
I'm gonna do it.
Hopefully the other
AKA
group can put it together.
mine,
Pressure.
because mine is the very first instruction, number one, right?
That's right. Most important.
I think you guys have gotten the farthest so far out of all the groups.
Yay! How's
So
your
you
math
guys' group is done? How are we doing over here?
I'm rewriting it so they can
Okay.
write it.
So she's gonna rewrite it. While she's rewriting it, really quickly, you can adjust this to any subject, whether it's science, the physics side of it, math. You can actually add in measurements, and what the math teacher that I know did with it is, we usually have inch rulers, and so she made them use centimeters. So they had to convert all of the inches into centimeters when they were rewriting the instructions. So that gives them practice with stuff. Social studies teachers sometimes do something like this where they have to describe a particular event or building without using any of the key words in the chapter. For English, what I do is when I do them, I give them very detailed, very specific instructions, and they have to rewrite it without using certain words, and I look and see how well did they match up the words. Are these really similar, or is this something that's far out there, and if I was reading this, am I looking at it going, that does not make any sense whatsoever, okay? And then when we switch around, I have them try to figure out things. In this one, we're gonna build, and then you guys are gonna rate how good your instructions are at the end. So do you feel like the instructions were very clear, you were able to build it really easy? Or do you feel like it could have used some more information? Or hopefully none of this happens. I have no clue what I'm supposed to build here. This doesn't make any sense, okay? Almost done?
You want they can just look at it.
She's just like, no, I'm done.
Well, because I don't want to hold everybody a long time.
No, it's all right. A couple of my sessions were like 2 to 3 minutes late, so.
What if they would have a really hard time doing this? Do you make them into the groups, or is this?
We discussed why it was difficult at the end.
What if they're like very low level ESL?
So if it's lower level ESL, I simplify the instructions and I reduce the amount of words that I take out for them, and then they're able to still do the activity. You have to kind of know the level of your students before doing this. So you can't really do this at the beginning of the year, but like maybe toward the middle of the year, you can pull this out and make them think critically. The more words you take out, or the more things that you put as far as stipulations, the higher level thinkers you'll need, because you're taking everything that's easy out from under them and making them think it through before they do it. So the less you do, the less thinking they have to do. So for ESL students, you simplify, maybe 2 words come out instead of 5 or 6. And they're still able to do it because it's only 2 words, so we just focus in on those 2 words, and they learn those words really well, because then they have to really come up with something. Okay, so let's go ahead and switch. I'm gonna take your instructions and you're gonna rotate. So you're gonna come to this table and they're gonna go to your table. You can leave these ones, I'm taking the original ones, they don't get these.
Okay.
So all you have now is your materials and the instructions that were left behind by the group before you. You have about 5 minutes to build it. You start as soon as you get there. What are they written out here?
How do you know how many?
How many what?
Words that they have.
Oh, you won't. You have to try and build it based on what they have there.
Oh.
3 towers. A lot of these stuff to the ground.
Stick them together near the middle. Near the what middle? Like near the middle better? Or near the middle of the table? Near the middle of what? How can I have buildings when I'm not white bodies?
White gummy.
Of course, the buildings can be bottom and using sticky stuff to use So I don't have sticky stuff.
Tape.
I don't have tape. There is no tape here. Where is my sticky
Oh, did someone
stuff?
spill your tape?
Parker would share.
Someone
Do we not have enough materials?
No, someone took it with them probably.
What if we have no idea what they're talking about? Okay, I know that it's a white pasta gummy. White gummy tower.
I guess. I have
One
one
group
of
I
these.
really started red line.
Attach the
Those are
buildings at the
confusion.
top of
Oh,
the
there's no time.
Also, we have to cut that down.
We can maybe 25. Hindsight.
So wait, I think we have to have the same one paint
So only one together, the white pasta.
Well, we're building 3 buildings, so I will assume 3 papers.
That is partnered with chair.
So are we doing like this, and then maybe,
On
and
top
then
of
maybe
the
like
outside.
this on top of it, like this? And then if you flip it, it says, attach the buildings at the top with the sticky stuff, the triangle that creates. Or are we like doing it?
I think this is for me.
Yeah, three parts.
So actually, the way that you had it before with how that's is.
Like this?
Yes.
That's it?
Mhm.
Just like this?
And then attach the buildings.
Then what?
So
What does that mean?
how many pieces do you guys have? You have quite a bit of paper there, right?
Yes.
So you would attach the ends.
I lost interest.
You need to keep building until
I don't know.
you guys were almost there. You almost had it.
So are we better than them?
So have you guys been able to figure it out yet?
So if we were trying to make it taller, would it be
Any
better
luck yet?
around?
Do you know what you're supposed to build yet?
This is a line
But
pasta,
at the same
Yes.
time,
and we know this is a stick line,
Oh, that's actually two
and
different.
this is a paper line,
Yeah, and then you
and this is
have,
a white gummy.
there you go. So you figured out all the materials, but do you have any idea what you're supposed to be building?
I have no clue.
No clue. Okay.
We
So
may put together the line pasta, these on top of the object that's part of the chair.
100 centimeter of the paper line. 그러면 you have to take
we're a little over time, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop us right
make
here.
it 100.
So you had a little bit of time to kind of start. I will tell you exactly what you were going to be building really quick, and then usually if we have a full class, like 25, 30 minutes, these get built. And sometimes they turn out exactly how they're supposed to, and other times it's just a crazy mess.
You just need
Okay?
to think a lot.
Yes. So the critical thinking part of this is obvious, right? You're having to take something that you've never built before and explain it to somebody else without using the most important words that are needed, okay? So your guys' was a marshmallow tower, which you use the spaghetti, you put it together with tape, a little bit of the paper there, and you kind of stack it up, and then you put the marshmallow on top.
Like this?
Yep, but you have to have it at least 1 meter high.
1 meter.
Yeah. So you would have to like take them and tape them together. Yep, exactly. You guys had a paper tower, and the way the paper tower works is you roll them up into the cylinder, tape the ends together, and then at the top they kind of connect. So it almost looks like kind of an Eiffel Tower type thing. And again, it has to be at least 1 meter tall, and it has to stay standing for at least 30 seconds for it to be successful.
They never said that on our paper.
Yes.
So what?
That's partially because we don't have enough time to do it. If we had enough time with the students, what happens is they get really, really creative. Like they start saying things like, make sure that it's attached, like your guys' was to the table, to the square or rectangle object that you are sitting at. And so what ends up happening is you'll have some that will really be able to figure it out because the group that wrote the instructions is very precise. And then you'll have others where they come and they're like, this doesn't make any sense. And then the group that wrote the instructions will turn around and go, it makes perfect sense. And so I get them to start discussing, why doesn't it make sense to you? Well, because we don't understand what this word means or what it is. And I'm telling them, okay, so this group, why did you write that word down for whatever word it was replacing? Oh, well, because tape, I've had kids call the tape for adhesive or glue plastic. And the other group was like, what is glue plastic? And so then I'll ask them as I'm going around, what is tape? Oh, it's plastic. What else does it have on it? Oh, it has glue, it has adhesive. And so they come up with those words, but they have to kind of think through them, okay? So I also get questions a lot of times like, why are you doing this? I've done this as an English teacher and as a science teacher, and I've had science, math, all kinds of different teachers in there like, why are we doing this? It's building, it doesn't apply to me. I kind of already covered that. The students love to be in charge, and they love to build things and do things with their hands. So I'm putting the learning on them. I gave them the instructions, I let them do everything, and then they start just going with it. I kind of go around and guide, but I'm not up here telling them, no, you're not doing that right. I'm letting them make their mistakes and learn from it that way, okay? Students learn better also when there's a positive memory attached to it. So if you're working with your friends, you're more likely to remember what you're learning, because if my friend makes a mistake, I'm going to remind him every time. Do you remember last time when we learned this and you made a mistake? And you know, it's just them being who they are, but then there's also kids that will say, hey, you had a really good idea last time, so you do this time because we're all going to mess it up. So they have that positive memory attached to it. And then the activity is designed to make you think, because it's something where you're not just getting a set of instructions and doing it on your own. You're having to think about, who am I writing this for? How well are they going to understand what I say? And then when you get to the other group and you start building, you're thinking about, who wrote these constructions? Why did they use this word? Oh, this is such and such. They might think that this word means this, okay? And then the conclusions I want you to take from this is, don't teach something if you don't find it interesting yourself, okay? If you don't like sitting and listening to people talk for 25 minutes, believe me, the students don't like it either, okay? Students want to learn, but they want it to be enjoyable. They don't want it to be a grind. Anytime something just drags on and on and on, students will not enjoy it. And I'm sure you guys have all heard it before. If a teacher teaches a particular lesson they really don't like, they go back and they tell all the other teachers, this lesson in this class was really horrible, and I'm really tired and I don't want to do anything else, okay? They're trying to tell you, please don't do this. I want you to do something else, okay? Be adventurous, get creative, and ask questions. Ask the students as they're learning if they're enjoying the activity. If they're telling you, no, I'm not really enjoying this, I don't like to do this kind of stuff, then you know, I don't want to do this again, because 9 out of 10 times if your students aren't liking it, the next group of students probably won't like it either, okay? And it's okay to make mistakes as teachers. That's what helps us grow and become better. So you're going to have an activity that's going to be an absolute failure, and instead of going, oh, I'm a terrible teacher, okay, that didn't work. Students, give me feedback. What didn't work about it? Why didn't you like this activity? Why didn't we learn what we were supposed to learn? And then that's it. Thoughts or comments from you guys? I wish we would have had more time, because I really wanted to see what these things were going to look like.
I have no idea.
Next team building activity. Next time.
There's like 3 or 4 other activities I do when I do it with the students. One's a catapult, one's a paper airplane. I've had some really interesting things come out of the catapults.
Do you let them see your original instruction
Afterward, yes. And it's,
Can we see it?
yeah, it's pretty interesting. And sometimes the students are like, what? Why did they write that?
I think it will make a lot of fun watching.
Those were the original ones. And then get the ends of your cylinders together until you have created 3 separate towers. So the ends would have been here. So that would have been useful for you guys, right?
We were working on that though.
Yeah, you almost had.
We were getting there.
That's the part of the bottom.
So then it's like
So you would have taken this and taped it down to the floor,
Oh.
and then attached the towers at the top with the tape at an angle that creates enough pressure to keep them from falling. So then after you attach them to the floor, you take it together and you just wrap
So
this tape
where
around it.
I got confused was, do we have to have 3 of these, or just 3 of these?
Yeah, so I think that they would create 3 separate buildings or columns or something.
So we have to have
So
3
yes.
of these, all right?
Yes. So you have 3 separate buildings.
Well, I was getting there.
Yeah, I
We
think
were
you-
getting there.
if we would have had enough time, I think,
Comprehended, yeah.
then yeah, you guys would be able to do it. But 15 minutes is not enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another-
All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you.